I think it's time.
I think it's time. It is now time for our daily segment, Today's Talkers. And, you know, we do have to start a little bit more on a somber note because the world has lost an absolute legend. Actor James Earl Jones has passed away at the age of 93. And, of course, this is a big talker because so many people are taking today to talk and share his impact that he had on the world.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it any better. Literally the impact that he has had on the entertainment industry overall. So rest in peace to this iconic actor, and it really broke our hearts hearing this news yesterday. And he's touched us in so many countless incredible acting roles over the years. His career lasted more than 6 decades.
Wow.
And whether that career was on Broadway, television, the big screen, one thing that made him stand out from the rest, we know that voice once you hear it. And you know, a lot of the roles that he was most famous in, you didn't really see his face.
That just,
you heard his voice though.
That just shows the power of that voice. Of course, he voiced the evil Darth Vader in the Star Wars movies and Mufasa in the Disney animated film The Lion King. He also was the voice for CNN for years. His famous line, "This is CNN," lived on for decades. You know, he also had so many screen roles too that we all remember. Coming to America, we all remember The Sandlot. And in remembering him, more and more people are sharing his stories too. And he actually had a stutter as a child. And knowing that he was the voice that impacted generations, and knowing that he started off as a stutter just shows that how much you can overcome. And I think that's truly inspiring. And I know that I will take that with me as well as we go forward.
And speaking of that, I always hear this, sometimes that thing that is what you think is setting you back is actually that same thing that'll propel you forward.
Absolutely.
Going forward. So that is amazing. And it's also important to note that he was one of the first African-American actors in a continuing role on a daytime drama. That was back in the 60s too. So he won 2 Emmys, a Golden Globe, 2 Tony Awards, a Grammy, the National Medal of Arts and the Kennedy Center Honors, an honorary Oscar, a special Tony for a Lifetime Achievement.
Wow.
And also in 2022, a Broadway theater was actually renamed in his honor too. So although of course he's no longer here with us, his legacy will be here for far more years to come. But Justin, I know his work has touched you too.
Yeah, and I have an easy cold take today in honor and remembrance of him. Of course, you listed all the accolades there and the voices that he has kind of gone throughout. His voice so distinguishable, one of those kind of top tier, most recognizable sounds. You hear his voice and the connotation it has, and you know, it just permeates through you. I mean, the man could narrate going to the end of your driveway in bed to get the paper, and you would be so captivated by it. It's just, you know, one of those things that sticks with you. It's so easy to pick him out of any role he ever had. You hear the voice, you don't need to see his face because you know who it is. James Earl Jones, a legend. Wanted to wish him well in the afterlife. Rest in peace to him, the king that he is. We're glad to have had him share his voice and the rest of his talents with all of us for 93 great years.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks,
and
Justin.
Thank you. It's Michigan ties because he went to U of M as well.
Yeah, that's
Center
right.
Stage there. Well, another big talker today. Oof.
It's also pretty somber.
That is pretty somber. This is insane. Is the controversy brewing in the world of country music? The nominations for the annual Country Music Awards were released, and there was someone noticeably absent from that list.
None other than the queen of music, Beyonce. Okay, after releasing her first full-length country music album, superstar Beyonce was not given a single nomination. And let's just say that's not due to lack of accolades, because Cowboy Carter was a major success on the charts, spending 4 weeks at the #1 spot on Billboard's Top Country Albums.
And not only the album itself, but her single Texas Hold'em was Billboard's Hot Country #1 song for 10 weeks. And then you had the collaborations with Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton's Jolene spent time at 2nd and 3rd place on the song charts as well. So this is just a snub as it gets. I can't even, you know, not a single nomination for this album is absurd.
Okay, I'm glad you're just as outraged.
Well, I am, of course. This is crazy. It's a joke, honestly.
And it really is. And honestly, right now, the Country Music Awards Committee, they haven't spoken up and said why it was left off. But also, let's be mindful that Cowboy Carter had 12 nominations at the 2024 People's Choice Country Awards. She was the first black woman with the #1 single on the Hot Country Songs chart too as well. So let's just say it's also not the first time she's ever had a clash with the country music community either. But this is just let me put it this way. If there's ever a time where Kanye, you want to make a return? You want to make a return to the stage? Now would be a time to do this, please.
Yes, yes.
But this is clearly something that's just really, I feel like, rocked the entertainment industry overall. Devastating. But you know what, Beyonce, we've got more awards. You know what she says?
What should she
The
say?
best revenge is your paper. So you know what? I know that's not stopping anything, okay?
No.
So go ahead, Beyonce.
Yes, yep. We will look forward to how you're going to overcome all of this, and we will support you in any way. But
I need some tissues for today's talkers, okay? Because I'm a little devastated.
It's okay. Well, let's move on to something here.